Hi, this is Teacher Golda, your science teacher. From the picture, you could see there a cup filled with hot water and a thermometer. It is understood that temperature is being measured using the thermometer. Thus, thermometer is a device used to measure temperature. Temperature is the hotness or the coldness of a substance. What do you usually do when you are in front of a lighted candle? Have you experienced playing with it? Have you tried doing this? What was transferred to your hand? This is a cup of hot milk. Have you tried holding a cup of hot milk? What did you feel? This is an ice. Have you tried holding an ice? What did you feel? The sensations you felt in holding these two materials are due to heat transfer. Try to perform this activity, a video analysis entitled "What's My Temperature?" In this activity, your objective is to explain how heat is transferred from an object to another object. Your materials, a video clip, ball pen, and a piece of paper. What are the things you need to do? Number 1, you watch the video and observe keenly. Observe the initial temperature of the hot milk. Number 3, observe what will happen to the temperature of the hot milk after it was placed on a plate with ice. After that activity, you will answer these questions. Number 1, what happened to the temperature of hot milk after it was placed on a plate with ice? Number 2, how is the flow of heat energy? Here is a cup of hot milk. Determine and record the temperature of the hot milk. I will place the setup on a plate with ice. Observe what will happen to the temperature of the hot milk. From the video, you have observed that heat always flows from hotter objects to objects with lower temperature. If several objects at different temperatures are placed near one another, the hot objects become cooler. This shows that the hotter objects lose internal or thermal energy, while the colder objects gain internal or thermal energy. This time, it's time to watch, to learn, and to enjoy. For the upcoming video, answer the following questions. Number 1, what do you think did I feel when I held the metallic handle of the pan? Number 2, what do you think did I feel when I held the plastic handle of the pan? And number 3, what mechanism of heat transfer was shown? So let us try to boil water using two pans. One with plastic handle and the other one is with metallic handle. Let us place 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of water also here. We will cover both pans. So we will wait for a while until the water will start to boil, or the water will about to boil. So both pans, the water is about to boil. So let us try to hold the plastic handle. So see and observe. And I'll try to hold the one with metallic handle. Can I hold it as long as I was able to hold the plastic handle? What do you think did I feel? Let us answer the questions. Number 1. What do you think did I feel when I held the metallic handle of the pan? When I held the metallic handle of the pan, I felt hot. Number 2. What do you think did I feel when I held the plastic handle of the pan? When I held the plastic handle of the pan, I did not feel as hot as the metallic handle of the pan. What mechanism of heat transfer was shown? The mechanism of heat transfer shown was conduction. For the next video, answer the following questions. Number 1. What happened to the red and blue food coloring when the red food coloring was heated? Number 2. What mechanism of heat transfer was shown? I have here a way to demonstrate convection using a bowl of cold water which represents our atmosphere. I will place 3 drops of red food coloring at the middle, which represents hot air. I will place blue food coloring on both sides that will represent cold air. Now I will place a cup of hot water under the red food coloring, and we will observe what will happen. Watch closely the red food coloring as it starts to rise, which means our water is warm enough, and this is creating an area of low pressure. As it rises, look at the blue, which represents cold air. It is moving to replace the red that is rising. This is a good representation of convection. Let us answer the questions in activity number 2. What happened to the red and blue food coloring when the red food coloring was heated? When the red food coloring was heated, it rose, while the blue food coloring moved in to replace the red that was rising. What mechanism of heat transfer was shown? Mechanism of heat transfer shown was convection. On this next picture, answer this question. How was heat from the sun transferred to the baby's skin? On the picture, The baby is having her morning sunbath. Now, let us answer the question. How was heat from the sun transferred to the baby's skin? The heat from the sun was transferred to the baby's skin through radiation. From the activities you have learned the mechanisms of heat transfer. There are 3 mechanisms of heat transfer. The first one is conduction. It is the transfer of heat between substances that are in direct contact with each other, just like the one in the picture. The heat from the handle of the pan is being transferred to your hand. In the video you had watched, in boiling water using 2 types of pans, one with metallic handle and the other one is with plastic handle. The metallic handle is a conductor and the plastic handle is an insulator. Conductors then are materials that readily allow heat to pass through, while insulators are materials that keep heat from easily transferring through. The second mechanism of heat transfer is convection. It is the transfer of heat from one place to another due to the movement of fluid. The third mechanism is radiation. Heat transfer, which occurs when microwaves, infrared radiation, visible light, or other electromagnetic radiation is emitted or absorbed. In our day-to-day activities, here are some applications of heat transfer. On the first picture, it is the drying of clothes. Radiation is the mechanism of heat transfer. Second picture, ironing. Conduction is the mechanism of heat transfer. On the last picture is a bonfire. Radiation is the mechanism of heat transfer. To summarize our lesson, mechanisms of heat transfer are conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is the transfer of heat between substances that are in direct contact with each other. Convection is the transfer of heat from one place to another due to the movement of fluid. While radiation, heat transfer which occurs when microwaves, infrared radiation, visible light, or other electromagnetic radiation is emitted or absorbed. It's time to check your understanding. Choose the letter of the correct answer. For questions 1 and 2, use the illustration on the right. This shows a woman cooking soup using a pan made of metal. Number 1. How does heat travel through the pan? Heat travels through the pan by blank. A. Conduction, B. Convection, C. Dispersion, D. Radiation. If you answered letter A, conduction, your answer is correct. Number 2. How does heat travel through the soup? Heat travels through the soup by blank. A. Conduction, B. Convection, C. Dispersion, D. Radiation. If your answer is B. Convection, then your answer is correct. Number 3. Metal is to conductor, as blank is to insulator. Letter A. Aluminum. Letter B. Copper. Letter C. Gold. Letter D. Wood. If your answer is letter D. Wood, your answer is correct. Number 4. Conduction is to solid, as convection is to blank. Letter A. Gas. Letter B. Liquid. Letter C. Solid. Letter D. All of the above. If your answer is B. Liquid, you are right. Number 5. Conductors are materials that easily transfer heat. Letter A, true. Letter B, false. If your answer is letter A, true, your answer is check. If your score is 4 or 5, you are excellent. If your score is 3, you are very good. If your score is 1, 2, or 0, you've done a good job, but please go back from the top and watch this video again, or read again your SLK. It's your turn. Answer the activities in your SLK. Activity 1 is entitled Arrange Me. Directions. Arrange the jumbled letters to form the term being described. Write the terms on the answer sheet. Example: materials that do not easily transfer heat. The answer is insulators. Activity number 2, entitled Hot or Cold. Directions. Write hot if the statement is correct and cold if it is incorrect. Write your answers on the answer sheet. Number 1 is done for you. Temperature is a measure of the degree of hotness or coldness of an object. The answer is hot. Activity number 3. Where do I belong? Directions. In each of the following situations, identify the method of heat transfer that takes place. It could be conduction, convection, or radiation. Number 1. Hot milk is stirred with a spoon. Later, the spoon gets hot. The answer is conduction. Under assessment, you have to read each item carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer on the answer sheet. Enjoy answering the activities in your SLK. And if you encounter any difficulty in answering the tasks in the SLK, do not hesitate to call, message, or text me. Always bear in mind that you are not alone. I am just one call away. Good luck! The lesson we had is heat transfer. This is Teacher Golda saying goodbye.